Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be setting up some of my weekly spreads for March, but before I get into that, I want to show y'all a few new stickers. I have this Stay Golden sticker. It is my first waterproof sticker, so it's good for water bottles, laptops. And then I have my grid circles, which are perfect for bullet journaling. I'll have my shop linked down below if you're interested in either of those. And if you haven't already seen my March plan with me, be sure to watch that first so you can see how I made my cover page and my quote page and my monthly spread for March. But for now, let's get right into some weekly spreads. I'm starting out with my Tombow Mono drawing pen in the biggest size. This is the size 8. It comes in the larger pack, which I just recently got, and I've really been liking this size, especially for the different sections on my weekly spread. I feel like it just gives the lines a nice sharp look. I'm sure y'all have noticed by now, but I have a few go-to weekly spread layouts that I rotate between. And so this one, of course, I have 7 boxes for the 7 days of the week, and then I have 2 little columns on the outsides for notes and to-do list, and then up at the top, sometimes I'll do a quote and sometimes I'll put goals up there. But I really like this one. It gives me enough space to write a decent bit for each day, but then I also have that extra space for decorating the top and making my little list. And now I'm writing March in my header. Of course, I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen. This is one of my favorite colors. I use it all the time. I will have the specific colors linked in the description box. But for this lettering, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to give it some sort of shadow or depth. So all I did was I went back over it with the same color and I just did the outer edge of each brush stroke. So to stick with the window theme, I decided to put March inside of a window and then have these big flowy drapes on either side of March. So right now I'm drawing the drapes. I tried to just keep them kind of simple, but maybe make it look like a little bit of wind was coming through, and then adding that little shadow at the bottom. Now I'm going in and drawing the actual window. This window is a lot more simple than the one on my cover page. It's just a regular rectangle with a thick frame around it that's going to be wood, and then I will draw in a few just simple panes into it. And then at the top I'm going to have my curtain rod that the drapes are hanging on, which I kind of messed up the curtain rod. I put the little ends a little bit not at the right spot, and then when I went to draw the rod, it went above where the curtain was. So ideally the curtain would have been just a little bit higher than the rod, so it looked like it was actually looped over it and hanging over it. But I made the most of it. You'll see when I fill it in, it really didn't look too bad in the end. But if you're trying to recreate this, definitely make sure you have the rod a little bit lower than the tops of the curtain. Now I'm adding some color to my window frame and then to the drapes. So the window frame, I did just a solid wash of color, and then I went back on the edges and I just added just some light brush strokes just to give a little bit of a shadow from the curtain, and then also to kind of give it more of a wood feel, to have a little bit more texture. And then for the curtains, again, I kind of let the brush strokes show on this a little bit, and then again I went at the bottom with some lighter brush strokes just to make it look like the fabric was bunching up a little bit. I'm putting the finishing touches on this weekly spread. I'm going back in with my white jelly roll pen and I'm writing the days of the week. And I really like how this spread turned out. It's a normal setup for me, but I just love that little window up there. And it, like I said, it's one of my favorite colors. So let's set up one more weekly spread. I'm going to do a different layout for this one just to show y'all some variety. This I do 8 evenly sized sections. So I have the 7 days of the week, and then I have an extra section at the bottom, and I will show y'all what I do with that one. It kind of changes just depending on the week, but that's one of the great things about bullet journaling is you don't have to use the same setup and layout all the time. And up here, I'm adding another little box. I think I'm going to put my to-do list inside of this box. I'm kind of doing the same thing I did on my monthly spread header, where I just do 2 lines instead of 1 for the box. It just makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit less flat. And in these little side boxes, I'm writing the days of the week, and then I'll go in and write the date underneath it. I sometimes alternate and I'll do the date smaller and then the day of the week bigger, but I kind of like the way it looks a little bit better where you write the day small and then you can have like the big date underneath it. I'm keeping the lettering in my header super simple, and then I'll go back and add some little floral details. So I'm just doing an uppercase march using one of my Tombow dual brush pens. And then now I'm going to use one of my drawing pens and add in that floral detail. And I realized y'all really couldn't see what I was doing. One of these days, maybe I'll get a second camera angle, but for now, it'll just be revealed when I move my hand. It's like a fun little surprise for everybody. An easy trick to fill in some empty space when you're doing florals or really any kind of drawing or lettering is to go in and add some really small circles and then some dots and just kind of put them randomly, kind of fill in the space and just see what looks good and what you like. And I think it just fills it out a little bit more. Now I am outlining all my dates. I like the way that this makes the bubble numbers look a little bit better. They just pop off the page a little bit more. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of color to those florals, and then that will be it for this weekly spread. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Let me know if you want to see the rest of my weekly spreads for March, and let me know what your favorite or go-to weekly spread layout is. Maybe I need to try some new ones. And like I said before, if you haven't already watched my March plan with me, I will have that link down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.